Welcome, seekers of tarot, storytellers and lovers of the scroll. Today we enter the world of Instarot Night Mode Edition, the newest chapter in Deckstiny's digital age tarot journey. Here, Waite Smith wisdom is reimagined with captions, hashtags and radiant artwork that feels like scrolling through a mystical midnight feed. With sleek black edges, shimmering pink and purple backs, and a magnetic box, this third edition carries its own unique perspective. And for a touch of history, I'll also share a glimpse of the earlier Instarot decks so you can see how this series has evolved and transformed. So join me and let's scroll together into the enchanted feed of Instarot. Hello my ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody's doing okay. Thank you to all the wonderful comments on my last video where I showed my 10 years, 10 decks. That was, I really enjoyed doing that. And lots of lovely comments from people as well, so thank you. I did mention at the end of that video that I'd be going back to reviewing the decks that had been sent to me by Deckstiny. And today's, it's another one that I'm really excited about because it's the third edition of the Instarot, which is based on social media, particularly Instagram. You can tell by the colours. Now this is the night edition. I do have the previous two editions, of which there were some, I would say, subtle changes. We'll just take a look at them for a minute first. So, came out in a two-part box. So it was after their tuck boxes. Yeah, made a right mess of that, haven't I? And they're very sturdy, almost like wooden feel boxes to them. Let's just get this back in the right order. So this one came with this beautiful back design, very reminiscent of Instagram. These cards where it just says loading, don't you hate it when that happens, is the back and front protection card that Deckstiny always pop in. So we'll just put them to one side. This came out about 3 years ago. It's closely followed by the second edition. That's your certificate of authenticity. This was a Kickstarter. It's number 254. I think there was 1,000 decks of the original. Normally tells you on the box 2023, so it was only 2 years ago. I thought it was about 3. But anyway, they usually do a print run of 1,000. Again, themed around Instarot. Now, the back card is just a thank you for your support, which they always pop in. It does have 3 additional cards. Pamela Colman Smith, that's got in the wrong order, Arthur Edward Waite, and the Happy Squirrel. Now, in the second edition, and it's not gilded or gilt, it's white. So it's not a card either. It's finished with this beautiful white. And that was the same with the second edition. It had white edges. Again, the card protection, loading, different backs now. So we've gone from a matte back to this spot glossing, cold stamping with this beautiful pinky purple metallic. This was copy number 7. And you'll see here that there was a change to the design of the cards. It had like the camera logo at the top, and it's just kind of changed that around, and the send button to a heart and a speech button. But Pixie had changed, and the words had changed as well. There was no Arthur Edward Waite card in the second edition, but there was a Happy Squirrel card which also changed designs and words. So that, let's make sure I put these back in the right decks. Everything else, as you'll see, we'll just show the full card. It's pretty much the same. Cardstock was a lot thicker in the second edition by, that one's come out, please. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards difference in thickness. 10. 10 cards, I got them mixed up. So, but you'll see everything else is the same here. It's even got the same words. Now, let's bring the camera down. Now, what I would say is, because I've just recently shown a deck called Have a Guide Day by Deckstiny. In fact, it's out on the side here with a crystal on top. This was a beautiful deck, and it's similar in the fact that you get an RWS design, but with the Have a Guide Day, the words are linked to the archetype and are quite profound, quite deep, and really good for learning the cards and reading with the cards. I really have enjoyed pulling a card a day from that. That's why it's out on my desk at the moment. Whereas this deck is a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, it's a bit more playful. It's aimed around the theme of Instagram, where you upload a photograph and you put something. I really love the hashtags that come with it. So here we have, hi there world, it's the Fool, reporting for duty with a heart full of hope and a head full of dreams. Let's see what kind of magic we can make happen today. So it has the theme and the essence and the energy of the archetype of the Fool, but it's spoken in a kind of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, social media language. And then you get hashtag the Fool and hashtag spread love and light, etc. Hashtag master of the elements, hashtag the magician tarot, and you get the little emojis as well, which are really cool. So the artwork is quite fun. It's not it's a redrawing, reimagine. Love this hermit with the dream catcher with the 4-leaf clover and the feathers. Yeah, so I think it's a really fun, vibrant deck. All of them have had amazing cardstock, you know, that make that gorgeous sound. So I think what I'll do is I will put away the first edition into its box, and we'll keep out the second edition just to do a bit of comparison as we look at the night mode tarot. So this one though, let's find the, I think from what I understand they've put the Arthur Edward Waite card back into the night mode deck, but we will see. So I'm a bit too close now, so I'm just going to take the camera back up a minute. Okay, so I haven't opened this yet or taken a look at it. I've not looked online. I have no idea. I'm imagining that it's, I love this black speckled effect here on the edge of the box. I'm loving their new boxes as well. Okay, pop that there for a second. Okay, let's have a look. So, beautiful matte black with this gorgeous spot gloss in. This iridescent pinky purple, very in keeping with the colour themes that we see with Instagram. And as it says, where does it say it? Here we go. Night mode edition. Instagram does have a night mode version, or it's more commonly known as dark mode, but I see what they've done, you know, because mine is in dark mode, so, and I'm sure lots of people, I think you can set it as well where it changes at certain times of the day, but we see the difference here, look, with the cards on the back. It's gone into night mode. So it's a magnetic closure box. Beautiful. Look at that. I love the trays that they come in. Really, really nice. She's Instagramming herself. I mean, we live in that world now, don't we? Whether we love it or hate it. It has its pluses, particularly if you're an online person like me, but and wants to connect with community. But it also has its downsides, particularly for a lot of our younger generation. But okay, we'll take it out of its bag. Oh, so we have matte black edges. As you can see here, oh, that feels lovely. Really, really nice. It's got like a rough, it's not smooth, it's got like a rough texture. These are the backs, so they are in keeping with the second edition backs, whereas it's got a matte background, although that one is smoother, but because this is black, it looks a lot more matte. Kind of reminds me of the backs of Tarot of the Holy Spectrum, as you can see. Just pop that back. But it's the same design with the metallic. So they really do complement each other quite nicely there. Again, we've got the front and back card, which is the loading page. I took it from the back. I think I had, yeah. This is the certificate of authenticity, number 37. And there's the other loading page. Again, great bookmarks. I mean, how beautiful would that be to have inside your book? We always have this Instagram log-on page or login page where you put your details in to get online, which I think is quite cool. But I think it's quite cool because you could actually write in this and personalize this deck to you, you know, because it does say Instarot. All right, so here's the Arthur Edward Waite card. Now, as I said, it doesn't appear in the second edition, so we'll have a look at him in the first edition, and you can see the differences here. He's playing a guitar there. A.E. Waite, the real magic happens in the barber's chair, not in a wizard's tower. Hashtag barber magic. This is like the linescape as well, isn't it? And hashtag hairstyling wizardry. And then here we have music is my sanctuary, where words fail, the strings speak. Now I'm struggling to actually, don't know about anybody else, but I'm struggling to read. I do struggle with some colours on a black background, but it says hashtag inner healing and hashtag guitar soul. Okay. Oh, who knew? I didn't know that when we looked on the inside of the box that was going to be Pamela Colman Smith. I should have picked it up really from the feathers in the hair, the pearls or the beads, and the green outfit. But her hair looked very, very different. But I think they've taken Pamela Colman Smith from history and given her or brought her into the world of the 21st century with social media. Signing off as the artist, checking in as the tourist, who's up for some fun. We've kept, no, the design has changed again, because, hang on a minute, I put that one on there, that's why. So it's kept the design of the in terms of the layout at the top of the second edition rather than the first. The first being, as I mentioned, the camera, etc. And then we should have a Happy Squirrel. Ah, it's the Happy Squirrel from the Old School Tarot by Deckstiny. For those of you who saw that review last week. Different pose, but that's the guy. So yeah, then we go into 0. Would we have it saying 0? Now that stands out a lot better than the first one. Don't know why, whether it's a printing error, but it didn't stand out at all. But I can read that. The Fool, spread love and light as the hashtag. So let's do a comparison between our full cards. Yes, you'll see it's exactly the same now. Only we have daytime, day mode and night mode. Abracadabra, baby. So you'll see what I mean when I said, you know, it's made for an online audience. But I think it's fun. It adds something fresh. I think it will appeal. I'm not going to say to a younger generation, because, you know, I use Instagram and obviously YouTube, because here I am. But I use social media, and whilst I don't use it to the degree that perhaps my nieces do, where they're always on TikTok, or what's that other one where you got filters. Oh, they mean business. Sorry about that interruption, but it's a deck. How fun. Wasn't expecting that. I am expecting a delivery, and I thought that was it, but it's not. But that's a nice surprise, isn't it? Okay, and that's going to be one of my decks, I believe, if that's the right one, that I'm going to be using in September. And I've completely forgotten where I was up to, but I love this strength card. Some may see a ferocious beast, but I see a loyal and loving friend. Isn't that beautiful? Hashtag strength, hashtag lion love, and hashtag loyal companion. There's our hermit. Through the darkness of the night, I journey into the realm of dreams, hence the dream catcher, seeking clarity and enlightenment. Our Wheel of Fortune. I won't read them all for obvious reasons, but oops. I love how he comes out of the frame as well. Sale 70% off. That's in all versions. Even death can't resist a good deal. Save 70% on everything in store. Yeah, those pesky adverts. Oh, and don't get me started on Instagram. On Facebook. I had to scroll through 16 adverts in a row before I could see something that a friend had posted. The alchemist here behind the bar. Indulging in heavenly elixirs at the bar, but let's not forget the virtue of temperance. Sip responsibly, my friends. And devil with his red nose and his candy cane. Christmas hat on the tower. Who knew this holiday season could get so lit? Tower's on fire and I'm feeling the heat. I mean, this is clever, isn't it? How the water's pouring out the drug onto... I mean, how would that work on the white one? I can't even remember. I mean, you can see like the cloak of the... Oh yeah, it was just an outline. That's right. So it stands out a lot more there, and obviously they've had to change the font so you can see it, because it's white on black. cute and adorable little moon creatures. Cardstock is gorgeous. It does feel smaller than a standard, their standard anyway. But no, it felt quite small in my hand then. Might be because this morning I've been reading from my beloved Curious Travels, and they're a little bit larger. I love how these are glowing under the light as well. It's beautiful. I do like matte black. So then we go into our miners. We've got our ones. Look at that. Directions. That reminds me of like the old Batman films. Onomatopoeic kind of messages like pow, bam. Bullying is never okay, and I won't tolerate it. I'm standing up for myself and for others who have been hurt by hurtful words. We've got words like idiot, fat, ugly. Yeah, there's unfortunately a very dark side to social media as well. I like everything. Every positive has a negative. He's very modern Tate with his shades and his visor. And then we go into cups. Got a modern coffee cup and saucer. Hot dog sausage with mustard and ketchup. Yeah, so it does take a sup of coffee. It does take a traditional, or blends traditional with a modern vibe, as you would expect with a deck of this theme. Feeling a bit introspective today. Just me, my teddy bear, and my thoughts. Look at that dog from Labradoodle. I love that. I mean, it's the artist is Sing Poonfat, and you know you can see his influence with his previous decks as well. Feeling satisfied and grateful for all the orders coming in for our limited edition. Get yours now before they're all gone. How many times do we see that? I actually prefer the night mode. Whether it's because I'm used to that with my Instagram settings, or I just think that the colours pop a lot more. I mean, look at that purple against that black. Let's just compare that Two of Swords with the Two of Swords here. I mean, the purple seems darker, doesn't it, against a white background. But they're probably the same, but I don't know, there's something about having the black. I mean, that brown doesn't, that chocolate on the strawberry dripping into the black there, doesn't stand out half as near as much as it does on the white. But then when we saw the Temperance card, it had the better effect on this one. So it swings and roundabouts really. Just show a few more side by side so you get the idea. I mean, which one do you prefer? I don't even know if this one is still available. There will be a link to this deck in the description over at Deckstiny. You can get them on Etsy. I mean, it does ship from Thailand, but you can order it through Etsy. Oh wow, look at this guy. I may have limitations, but I refuse to let them define me. I am capable of achieving great things, no matter what. Oh, 5 of Pentacles. Just taking one of the figures from the card on the crutches. The Magic 8 Ball. Patience is key when you're waiting for the perfect moment to harvest, even if it doesn't happen when you expect it to. That's beautiful with the parrot. I still prefer it on the black background. I just think the images stand out a little bit stronger. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And then we get the thanks for your support. So both versions, I mean, the first one kind of stands out on its own now, doesn't it? This, apart from the changes to the 3 extra cards, virtually this is the same deck, but in night and day. And I can see why the edges now feel rough, because they do on the white edged deck as well. But both gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous decks. And I'm thrilled to have both versions of these now. All right, let me know your thoughts. What's your thoughts on decks that, because I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, but I actually quite enjoy seeing modern influences on tarot. And I'm all for a deck appealing to somebody of today's younger generation that this might be their gateway into tarot. So I'm kind of like, you know, as long as tarot always has decks that are being curated, and there are, we only have to look at, you know, Metronoa, that's been, you know, a beautiful classic Italian and French style tarot deck still being produced today. And my heart will always gravitate to those decks. I'm, like I said, very much a traditionalist, and I love vintage tarot decks. But there is a part of me as well that when a deck like this comes along, I think, oh, that's fun. That's a different take. And I'll use them for a while. You know, they're not decks that I tend to use for forever, like some of my other decks, but I do think they have a place. And I've met a lot of people who, when I've said to them, you know, what was your first tarot deck, they'll say something that surprised me, but it's a gateway in to tarot. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.